everyone, and welcome to another episode of Rich Talks BS. Now, getting into MLB, we had the trade deadline come up last week. Major moves around. Um, the postseason bound teams making their last minute moves, adding to their teams to make sure they can have what it takes and have that missing piece to make that run into the postseason. A few of those teams, of course, was the Giants, the Dodgers, the Yankees, Red Sox, Blue Jays, White Sox. The Braves made a couple moves. The Phillies, there was some pretty good moves around. One being Chris Bryant going to the Giants. That was a good pickup there. That's going to add more bat to them. The Mets getting Javier Baez and Trevor Williams, and getting Trevor Williams is a good pickup because now they're waiting for DeGrom and Syndergaard to come back, and when all three of them are in the lineup, that's going to be some great pitching there. Baez is a good bat, till Lindor gets back, and then, this Mets team can make a big turnaround and can look like a different Mets team from earlier in the season. They've already been playing better, so, it's already starting to work out for them. Blue Jays getting Jose Barrios, and that boosts their pitching. Their pitching it just got boosted. It's gonna look even better. They're trying, also trying to make that run into the postseason, and that was a good pickup. That's gonna add more arm to where they need it. And then we had the White Sox getting Craig Kimbrell, which he's going to be joining Liam Hendricks in that lineup. That's a good pickup too. See if the White Sox can pick up and keep it going. They haven't been on a great, winning streak, or they haven't had a good few past games. They've been kind of struggling as of late. 7 out of 11, losses, and that's, they're kind of just spiraling down a little. So hopefully, getting Craig will help that pitching, help the team out, boost their morale to try to make a run for the postseason and into the postseason. Dodgers getting Max Scherzer and Trey Turner. That was a great pickup. Max Scherzer just started his first game as a Dodger on Wednesday night. Trey Turner, they're still trying to figure out how they're going to fit him into it. Hasn't seen the field yet, so that's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. This Dodgers team is just looking even better. It's going to be even harder to beat this Dodger team, especially with Max Scherzer in the lineup. And it's going to make a very interesting postseason. All these trades that were done by the deadline is just going to make the postseason even more interesting and entertaining. Red Sox getting Kyle Schwarber, and Hansel Robles, and getting Schwarber, that just added a bat to the bats that they already have in the lineup. That's going to, boost them up even more when he's finally active again and back active, and finally, would take his first game as a Red Sox. And, like I said, that's a bat added to bats. They didn't have to give up, many bats to get him, and that's going to boost them up even more. So, can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see, how they're going to play out the rest of the regular season as they're behind against the Rays in the AL East. The Yankees getting Anthony Rizzo and Joey Gallo. That was two big bats to add to this Yankees team. Let's see how that's going to work out for them. Hopefully it works out and they can make that run into the postseason. Especially being behind right now, being in third place, and it's just gonna these two big bats are going to add to and boost up the morale of this Yankees team, who look like it's just been up and down and mostly down, and to boost the confidence of the other batters in the lineup. That's going to be very interesting to see how they can play out, how the Yankees can get that rolling. The Braves getting Adam Duvall, getting him back. Um, that should help out with Acuna missing. Also with Jock Peterson and Eddie Rosario. That was two pickups for the two good trades for the Braves. Um, it doesn't look like it's going to be much help to fill what Acuna could do, but this is going to help a little bit more compared to not having these type of players, or not having these players kind of fit in the role, or to fit into this team and to boost this team up to victories and try to make a run in the postseason as if Acuna was there by himself. It's a lot to put on these players, especially with the ability and the athleticism of Acuna and his IQ. That it's a lot to ask for these players. To me, it seems like it's a lot. So we had the power rankings too earlier this week. We had Dodgers at 1. They're right now in a series with the Astros, which has been a great series. Giants at 2. They actually just beat the Astros in a series over the weekend. Astros at 3. White Sox at 4, and then the Rays at 5, who over the weekend swept the Red Sox in a 3-game set, and that boosted them up to lead the AL East. Like I said, the moves that were made by the trade deadline, there was plenty of trades that were done, plenty more. There's a lot, to get into, but it's these teams who are postseason bound, who pretty much just tightened up their lineups, whether it was on the bat or in pitching, and it's gonna make an interesting run to the postseason, especially those who are on the outside looking in, or who are considered in the wild card run. We're gonna really see that big push and that last push towards postseason, and to see who can actually get in and see what these teams can do in postseason. Like I said, the Dodgers is really that one team to look out for. Adding Scherzer to the lineup, Trey Turner too. That's a good pickup. That's a good batter, and we're gonna see if these teams can stop the Dodgers from taking the series, from making a deep run into the playoffs. But it's just, like I said, it's just gonna be very interesting, very entertaining, and just can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Also, the MLB announced the 2022 season. That season, the schedule for that season has been released. They got the All-Star game July 19th at Dodger Stadium. March 31st is game 1 of the season, and all 30 teams will play that day. So that's gonna be fun to see every team in baseball, on opening day playing, and that's just gonna be a big day of baseball. Also, the All-Star game in Dodger Stadium, that's going to be pretty big. Would love to be there for, the home run derby and, of course, the All-Star game. But to be in that stadium for an All-Star game, that would be, that'd be a great experience. Moving on to NFL news, Carson Wentz, he hurt his foot in practice last week. Underwent foot surgery. He's expected to miss 5 to 12 weeks, depending on how how rehab will go, how he'll recover. Hopefully, it's not long for the for Colts' sake that he's not gone that long. Hopefully, it's just 5 weeks. Um, they're not really big on backups. And then there's also, been talks with Phillip Rivers saying that he's not counting himself out. Could make a possible return to the season. And then there was also a thing going around with Nick Foles. It was mentioned in a conversation earlier on Wednesday about Nick Foles, about the Colts going to pick up Nick Foles, the head coach of the Colts. Of course, was there when Nick Foles was there in Philly when Nick Foles took over for Carson Wentz after his season-ending injury and went on to win the Super Bowl. But Nick Foles is a Bear. He's gonna stay a Bear. He's not going anywhere. He's too busy fighting for his, positioning in that quarterback situation. But the Colts, they're gonna have to look to their backup. They're gonna have to, depend on him. Hopefully, he steps up and can get the job done and keep the Colts above water until Carson Wentz comes back. Like I said, 5 to 12 weeks. 12 weeks is a long time. Hopefully, it's just 5 weeks. Be back week 6, but they have a tough schedule, at the beginning, and it's just, it's going to be very interesting to see how, how the rehab goes and how the recovery goes. Hopefully, he comes back and comes back sooner. Free agency began on the other night, also. Monday night or Monday evening, and trade and signings kind of went crazy from there. Lonzo Ball going to the Bulls on a 4-year deal. Jimmy Butler expected to sign his max contract with the Heat. Conley re-signing for 3 years. You had Duncan Robinson on a 5-year deal, $90 million. Chris Paul declined his player option. That was worth at $44 million. Now he's signed a 4-year contract for $120 million. Kyle Lowry, 3 years with the Heat on a signing trade, which also involved Dragic. Jeff Green, 2-year deal with the Nuggets. Trevor Ariza signed a 1-year contract with the Lakers, as did Dwight Howard. On his 3rd run with the Lakers, he signed a 1-year contract also. Blake Griffin staying with the Nets. PJ Tucker on the move to Miami. That's big. Miami, have been, working on bringing this team back to postseason form and finals form. They've made some transactions themselves, and picking up PJ Tucker was a good one. Evan Fournier going to the Knicks. Trae Young signing his rookie extension, 5-year max, $207 million. As did Shai Gilgeous-Alexander signing his 5-year, $172 million rookie contract extension. And then Andre Drummond signed a 1-year contract with the 76ers. And, that was part of what happened in day one. There was a lot going on day one, like I said, and as soon as free agency opened up, teams were on it. They're getting it in early. They're trying to form these teams. They have all summer to get these teams together, get them right, get them going. And that was just day one. Day two, you had the Sixers waiving George Hill, Jazz signing Rudy Gay to a 2-year deal, Bucks getting Rodney Hill on a 1-year deal, Carmelo Anthony a 1-year deal with the Lakers, DeMar DeRozan going to the Bulls, 3 years, $85 million on a signing trade. Spurs get Thaddeus Young and Aminu. John Collins staying with the Hawks. He signed a 5-year deal, $125 million. Kemba Walker agrees to the buyout with the Thunder and expected to sign with the Knicks. That's going to be a great lineup with him, and then also with Evan Fournier going over to the Knicks also. That's going to be a team to really look out for. They've been, they were on the up this past season, had a great season, made the right moves, right coaching, and Tibbs is, got this team together. Getting Kimball Walker and Evan Fournier is just going to make this team even better. And they should be making a good run in regular season as well as a possible run in the postseason. Um, and then we had a 5-team trade between the Wizards, the Lakers, Spurs, Nets, and Pacers that sent Spencer Dinwiddie to the Wizards on a 3-year deal, 62 mil from the Nets, and which also sent Russell Westbrook to the Lakers. That completed that transaction. Of course, with Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope going to the Wizards. That's going to be a really good backcourt also with Bradley Beal and Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie is a pretty good player. He did what he could do with the Nets coming off, and he's just going to be great for this backcourt with this Wizards team. He's not going to replace a Russell Westbrook, but he's going to be his own player and his own player, within his own. He's going to know his role. He's going to fill that role. And, this Wizards team could have something there that they can put together and that can form and actually, work and keep the wheels going. So yeah, that Trevor Ariza also signed a 1-year deal with the Lakers, which I had already said that. But the Lakers, I just want to get into the Lakers, and the Lakers are making their moves, with the big three, getting Melo, getting Trevor Ariza, that's boosting certain roles in which they need it, and that was perimeter. And they're gonna have it, there. But it's just, can't wait for this season to start already. The off season's already starting off great, and it's just gonna lead to a great NBA season. Summer League is going on right now. With the draftees, and that's gonna be, a good fill in until the regular season. Well, that's all the BS I have for this episode. Until next time.